In Arabic, we have a saying, khira. Means that goodness lies in what God decides for you. Sometimes things do not work as you plan it to be, but things change, and if you embrace that change, you actually work for the best. At my position as a sexual transmitted infection scientist at the National Lab, I try to actually work in establishing a program that would be able to be the national program of screening for HPV. Human papillomavirus is 100% causing cancer virus. In Saudi Arabia, vaccination plans or even national studies are not established yet. My professor is one of the biggest people who work in women's health, and she founded an organization that only concentrated on women's health. And she's doing amazing work, and I try to help and be part of this shift of women care and healthcare in Saudi Arabia. Growing up, both of my parents were really hard workers. Like, they used to work tons. This kind of atmosphere was, I'm always giving my 100% to my work, but also my family. And it's that kind of environment that I was raised on. And I felt like these values of working hard, be kind, is really important. During my international year, I met people from different regions of the world. It's amazing because you kind of meet people from different countries, from different perspectives, and embrace this diversity. There's a lot of things that people are challenged with these days, but I think for the young people, it's really important for them to try different things, know what they want, and do something that make a change. Don't think, oh, I want to be a business major to get money and that's it. So what we're going to do? How can you change something? Like, in 10 years, is that what you're going to be? Be something kind. Be kind, have a goal in your life. Introducing HPV vaccination to Saudi Arabia and make it available to everyone would make a change in everyone's lives. Giving a screening program would actually make a statement that's important, and people will learn more about it.
When I first came here, I was really young, and of course it's scary. You're here just by yourself, far away from your home.
Knowing I'm coming over, and there are people who are waiting for me, expecting me, ready to take care of me and ready to help me out. And I just really like that part. It's like you're in good hands.
You need to get out of familiarity. It will help you grow, you know? Be whatever you want to be. You're gonna learn, you're gonna enjoy yourself, and you're not gonna feel alone.
We're all coming from different backgrounds, different cultures, different nations, and by coming from different places at once, you feel some kind of connection with the students.
Since I've come over here, I think I've developed that person in me where I'm confident enough to go out and, put myself forward.
It was the little improvement that would bring me success. I started to achieve things I never thought I could do.
I love the connection that the teachers have with the students. You don't feel that lessons are lessons. They're not boring. They're intellectual and fun.
I discovered a new passion for science with them. As I was working on this project, I just realized that it was something that would inspire me to change the world.
The stories and the experiences that you carry out for the rest of your lives, wherever you go, you still have those memories, those friends from that place.
If I could sum it up in one word, it's independence.
It will make you more confident, it will make you more vocal about what you think, and you can be yourself.
I would advise every student to go over the limits, explore the world.
My father is the most proud of me. He always tells people, you know my daughter? She got to America by herself. She passed all the tests and she did it all by herself.
Yes, dear viewers, good afternoon and welcome you once again on today's live session organized by Prominent Consultant. And today we have live session with Study Group, which is one of the biggest education provider, especially for foundation and pathway. And they also provide the direct program as well in different universities, especially in Australia. And today definitely we'll be talking about the details about higher education in Australia, including foundation, diploma and direct bachelor and master's program definitely. And before before discussing the main topics, so I'd like to request all our viewers that if you are listening this live session, please don't forget to share in your timeline. That is most important thing. People who are interested in your circle, who are interested for Australia, so they could be very benefited to this live session, since it will be a completely informative session by Study Group. And of course, if you face any problem listening us, please let us know, we can improve. And of course, you can ask any question regarding the Australia, higher education in Australia, regarding the COVID situation policies, what how they are making their classes, how they are doing their online classes. So you can ask any question regarding all these matters, and we'll be happy to answer your all question. And we also have Luke with us to answer your question. And to tell about something about Prominent Consultant, it's a 14 years old, 14 years experienced education agents working since 2006, and we mostly represent directly 200 plus universities and colleges from different part of the world, like Canada, Australia, UK, USA, Malaysia, France, and India as well. And we always we are always assisting students for their to fulfill their dream to study abroad. And Australia is one of our country that we recruit students to Australia, and Study Group is our partner, and we are the authorized agent of Study Group. So today actually I'd like to welcome Luke, who is the recruitment that manager of ANZ, Australia and New Zealand, from Study Group. Hi Luke, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine, and thanks for having me on today.
Yes, and thanks to you that you already joined here, and for making this event successful, this session successful. And would you please introduce yourself to our viewers?
Of course.
Yes.
So my name is Luke. I'm my title is Student Recruitment Manager for Bangladesh. I'm based in Singapore. And my job really is just to support any students, whether you're an undergrad student, postgrad student in Bangladesh, to help you come over and study with us in Australia. Okay, so any questions that you have, if you're looking for a foundation, if you're looking for an undergrad program, postgrad program, I'll be more than happy to talk about the centres that we work with, some of the options that you have available, some of the different study options. And as was said before, any questions that you have, whether it relates to visas, accommodation, what we're doing with COVID, how we're managing the borders, immigration, scholarships, all of these are things that I can help you with. Okay, so don't be shy, get involved. And if there's something that I can't help you answer today, then we can take your details and we can get back to you at a later time. Okay.
Exactly. And so, Luke, I just need to ask you one question, that since there are a few countries that people are going, that people are interested to go there, like Australia, UK, USA, and some other countries in Europe. So, Australia is one of the most popular destinations to our students, since they offer a post-study work permit, and after that they are, they offer the immigration thing. So how do you, what are the key points? So what are the, the benefits to study in Australia? Would you please tell these things? And one more thing, that since Study Group, they have some specific programs. So what is, could you please tell something about Study Group, that how they are providing the education in Australia?
Yeah, exactly right. So I'll talk about the benefits generally first, and I'll talk a little bit about the programs that we run. So one of the biggest benefits of studying in Australia is obviously that when you study in Australia, regardless of any of the institution that you study at, generally you can expect to get a world-class education. Okay, so what that means is that you're studying in some of the best universities, with some of the best faculty members, the best teachers, the best course curriculum, and most importantly for our students, that means that your qualification is going to be recognized all over the world, and it's going to give you much better leverage. It's going to give you a much better ability to go on and find work, whether that's in Australia, New Zealand, whether you're coming back to Bangladesh, or maybe if you want to travel over to another country like the UK or America. These institutions are some of the best in the world. That means your education is going to be one of the best in the world, and it's going to give you the best skills, the best education for you to go on, and obviously find a good career when you're finished studying. Okay, so the programs that we run, there are a few. So Study Group itself originally started off as what we would call a pathway provider. So what that means is that we would typically offer things like foundation and employment programs for students into top universities. We also run a series of direct entry programs for Charles Sturt University. So we run the Charles Sturt University Study Centres. So these are the city-based campus locations for CSU, Melbourne, Brisbane, and Sydney. And we run these for students looking at an undergrad and postgraduate programs, okay? All of our other centres, we offer foundation programs. So if you're a younger student, or if you're looking for access into places like University of Sydney, University of Western Australia, ANU, so top universities, then we also offer a range of foundation and diploma programs for these students, okay? In addition to this, we also run some English language programs as well, okay? So if you're looking at coming and studying abroad with us, whether you're a foundation student, undergrad, if you don't meet the entry requirements for your English, then we also run a range of English language programs for these students as well, okay? So English, foundation, diploma, undergrad, and postgrad, these are all programs that we offer.
Exactly, but look, I have a specific question. Since you know that universities, they offer the great bachelor and masters, but you are offering like pathway programs, like they need to start with your campus, and they can, you know, that start with the foundation or the diploma year one. So I mean, what is the basic difference of that with the university's direct program, and why the pathway would be the better option for them if they start with the pathway program with Study Group?
Yeah, so good question. So the pathway programs generally are aimed towards whether you're a HSC student, or maybe if you're doing IGCSE A-levels, for example, these are the sorts of programs that are going to be available for you, okay? So the benefit of doing a foundation or a pathway program, a diploma, typically these will give you access into very good universities, so elite level universities. So these world top 100 universities, like University of Sydney, like UWA, like ANU. And the reason why you would choose one of these is very simply, if you didn't meet the direct entry requirements, then often these offer you a pathway, so an alternative entry point into one of these universities. So if you have the option, say for example, of studying a diploma, so you can come and study a diploma at one of our top unis, or go in, or if your only other option would be maybe to stay in Bangladesh and study at a local uni, or study at a lower ranked university, then you can see why doing a diploma, which doesn't take any extra time, could be more attractive, because it would give you access to these better unis, which in turn would hopefully give you access to better jobs and give you more experience, better education when you're looking forward to your career.
Exactly, and I'd like to say something. I'd like to add something more with you, that since diploma is definitely a year one program, so they are not going to lose any year, any duration. And of course, I think because since you are offering the degree from, you know, that University of Sydney or Australian National University, which are the highly ranked, I mean the top 5 universities in Australia, so it's pretty tough. It's very tough to, you know, that sometimes to get enrolled over there directly. So if they start with Study Group pathway options, so they will feel comfortable, and they can get access to those universities if they can do well in foundation and diploma year one. So that's another thing. And another thing, I think, look, that the class size is small as well in the path. I mean, in the diploma, when they are starting with Study Group, so they will have a close interaction with the professors. Is it something like that?
Yeah, exactly right. And just to touch, just to add on to the point you made a second ago, so to get into a lot of these high-ranked universities to go direct, if you're doing your A-levels, for example, you might need 3 A's or 2 A's and a B, whereas doing a diploma would typically have a slightly lower entry requirement, okay? So the classes are much smaller generally, generally between 10 or 15 students. So you get much more support. And then added to this as well, many of the students that we have actually come and they are studying in their second language. So all of our faculty in addition to having these small supportive classrooms, they're specially trained to deal with students who are studying in a second language. So we're there, the campus team that we have are there to make you as successful as possible. And one of the biggest benefits, one of the biggest selling points for all of our programs is we have some of the highest progression rates in the entire industry. So all of the other foundation and pathway providers, our students are most successful coming and studying our programs. And in a typical program, anywhere from 85 to 98% of our students progress into the following year. Okay, so that means the number of students that we have in our programs actually successfully getting into their first choice universities is very, very high.
Exactly, and I know that Study Group also offers the direct Bachelor and Masters of Charles Sturt University from different city campuses like Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane. But before going to that part, I would like to know from you that what kind of foundation and pathway programs you are offering in your colleges. Like I know that you are offering college, like Taylor's College, you have to offer the programs of diploma, and you also have Flinders University. So would you please tell something about the programs you offer under pathway program? What are the majors, and what could be the entry requirements? What could be the tuition fees structure? So would you please describe all these issues?
Yeah, so maybe it would be easier if I share my screen. Actually, let me just pop it up.
Yes, sure.
Let me do this. So,
yes,
just let me know that you can see this. Okay, you can see this?
Yes, we can see, exactly.
Okay, fantastic. So what I'll do is I'll start by talking about the centers that we have.
You just make, look, you just make the screen full screen. I mean, yes, just make it full screen, yes.
My laptop capture.
Okay.
Wrong screen. Sorry about this.
Now it's okay, yes.
So on the screen here, you can actually see, so this is a map of Australia and New Zealand. Hopefully you guys will recognize that. And here you can actually see all of our centers and where they're located. Okay, so starting from the left or the westernmost point, you can actually see our Taylor's College Perth campus that we have. And this gives students access into the University of Western Australia. We have centers in Adelaide in South Australia, so Flinders International Study Centre, giving our students access into Flinders University. And then on the East Coast, you can see a few here. So we have ANU College, which gives students access into ANU, which is the #1 ranked university in Australia. It's one of the highest ranked universities in the world. And this is located in Canberra, so this is this dot here, okay? Our other very prestigious program, our Group of 8 partner, is located in Sydney, so Taylor's College Sydney. And this is the #2 ranked university in Australia. So again, very highly ranked, very prestigious, located in Sydney. And then you'll see our 3 CSU Study Centre campuses. So we have the one at the bottom here in Melbourne, Sydney, and our one up here in Brisbane, okay? Finally, we have 2 centres in New Zealand. So we have the University of Auckland, where we run Taylor's College Auckland. And then we have our university partner, Waikato, which is located just an hour away from Auckland in Hamilton. And here we run our Waikato Pathway College, okay? So almost all of these centres, except for CSU, we have foundation programs. Some of them we offer diploma programs, so year 1 access for international students. And we also run a range of pre-master's programs at 2 of our centres as well, okay? So Flinders and Waikato. So what was the next question you had? So in terms of the pricing of the program,
yes. So I have asked you that regarding the majors you offer in pathway and foundation, and also the entry requirements of your pathway and foundation program. What could be the entry requirements, and about the tuition fees structure as well.
Okay, cool. So I'll walk you through. I'll keep this screen up so we can get this best. But I'll go through the slide actually. I'll go through a little bit and I'll talk about the. So ANU College. So we have 3 main types of foundation programs. This is our core programs offering here, and these 3 programs have different entry requirements. and they range in difficulty based on the length of the program. Okay, so our standard program, most of our students come in for this, is our standard ability program. The rapid is a shorter but higher ability program. Students will typically have slightly higher entry requirements. And then our extended program at the bottom here, this has low entry requirements. Students have a preparation part of the foundation, and it generally has a slower pace. It's meant for students to be able to manage at a slightly slower pace. So you see each of these has 2 intakes, and you'll see we actually have 6 intakes across the entire year. Okay, so there's plenty of options for students who want to come in and study this. Here you can see the entry requirements. This is for Bangladesh students, so if you're HSC or if you're studying UK curriculum, if you're doing your Cambridge O-levels, and then you can see what sort of grades you would be expected to get. Lesson you could go in for essentially. On the right-hand side, you've got English requirements. Okay. If you have HSC 50% average or above, or Ds and 2Ds in your O-levels, then you'll be able to study in one of these programs at the #1 university in Australia, ANU. You'll be able to come do a 1-year foundation. When you finish, you'll go straight into the first year of your undergraduate program. Okay. I'll show you guys the price. So here you can see the fee for the program. So you can see our foundation program is about $31,000. This is Australian dollars. And then typically once you get to the university, the university undergraduate fees are in the region of about $40,000, usually for 3 years. One of the great things that we have available for Bangladesh students, so if you're a Bangladesh student with a Bangladesh passport, then you will be eligible for the scholarship. It's a $50,000 scholarship. The only requirement is that you need to meet the entry requirements into the program, so those 2 Cs and 2 Ds that we spoke about. You need to be one of the first 150 students in a year, and you need to be from a designated region, which of course Bangladesh. So I can tell you at the start of the year especially, we have lots and lots of these places. So for this year, we only just recently ran out of the scholarships towards the end of this year, very recently. But if you guys are looking for the start of next year, then we will have another 150 of these scholarships to give to our students. And this $50,000 scholarship is spread across the first 2 years of your study, okay? So you'll get $25,000 off of the foundation. So you can see that your first year studying will actually only be $6,000. And then your second year, you'll get another $25,000 off. And then your second and third year will just be at the regular rate, okay? So it's a huge saving. It's almost a 30-40% discount for students.
Exactly, and definitely it's a huge scholarship opportunity, like 50,000 Australian dollar in 2 years. I mean, it's almost free. I would say that, and first 2 years it's almost free, because 25,000 in a year, it's really a huge scholarship. So students, you can think about it of ANU options, so that Australian National University, which is the #1 university in Australia, and where you can get an opportunity if you're eligible to achieve 50,000 of Australian dollar scholarship in first 2 years. So you can contact with prominent consultant for applying to these options. Okay, Luke, you can go further.
Let's go on to the next one then. So now I'll talk just very quickly about one of our other very popular programs, so the University of Sydney, where we have Taylor's College Sydney. So very similarly, we run a foundation program. There are actually 2 main types. So we have our University of Sydney Foundation program, very similar to ANUC. We have 3 levels: standard, intensive, and extended. And then in addition to that, we also have a high achievers preparation program. So this is an accelerated foundation. A bit more about the differences in a second. But the standard, intensive, and extended foundations that we offer work very, very similarly to ANU. So we're looking for students who have finished their HSC, or if you've done your O-levels, will be eligible to come into one of these programs. I have the entry requirements you can see just on screen here. They're a little bit different to ANUC, but there are some similarities. Like you get at least 50% in your HSC, or you score 2 Cs and 2 Ds in your UK A-levels, then you'll be eligible for one of these programs, okay? If you score higher, then you may be eligible for one of the shorter. Right hand side, you can see our IELTS report.
Exactly.
So in addition to these standard foundations that we run, we also offer this accelerated or this one semester foundation. Very similar to our other foundation programs, you'll still come in before the first year of your undergrad. When you'll progress into the first year of your chosen undergraduate program, and nearly every single undergraduate option is available for foundation students. But the key difference here for students with a slightly higher entry requirement, so if you've done your HSC and you've scored very, very highly, then you may be eligible for this one. Or if you've completed your A-levels, then you'll also be able to look at HA. Being this, as I said before, is that you'll actually save almost 6 months of studying in just one semester. And the progression, we've had 100% of our students that have completed have progressed onto their chosen undergraduate program. Okay, so we've never had a student fail this program. It's the most successful program that we have running. But the entry requirements there are quite high. They're a little bit higher than our standard foundation program. So finally, I will just show you the fees. So here you can see the fee structure for the program. So we have, again, you'll notice that there are 6 intakes. Each of the programs has 2 intakes, so a semester 1 and a semester 2 intake. And finally, we have 1 intake for our HAPP, our High Achievers program, which is in September. You can see the different fees for each of the programs, but they start from about the $23,000 mark, $30. And then for the standard programs, you'll see that they're in the region of about $35,000 to $45,000 per year. When you finish your foundation program, you'll progress obviously to the first year of undergrad. And typically, you can expect fees at the University of Sydney to be in the region of about $40,000 to $50,000, depending on the undergraduate program you choose. Okay. We do have scholarships available for students. It is done on a merit basis, but anywhere up to $7,500 to $10,000 for the foundation is available, depending on the grades that you received.
Great. So I think Taylor's also offered the foundation program as well for the University of Sydney. I mean, they don't offer, I think, University Year 1, right?
No, correct. And one thing to bear in mind of all of these programs, so these are the official partnered foundation programs. So these are the best access into these universities that can be offered. So ANUC, University of Sydney, UWA, we're their only official partner. So there are alternatives you can look at, more general foundation colleges, but they're not officially partnered with the university. And most importantly, the progression at alternatives is much, much lower. Okay, so if ANU, University of Sydney, if these are your top destinations, we are the #1 choice for you in terms of progression, the support that you get in class, and your ability to actually go on and make it into the university. Okay, so I'll talk about Taylor's College Perth, which is linked with the University of Western Australia next. And again, we have a range of foundation programs very similar to the last universities, but we also have a couple of diploma options for students as well. And these are very interesting for students because they give you an accelerated access into the university. Choose any time, you start in year 1, and when you finish, you're actually able to progress straight into the second year at UWA. So here you can actually see our entry requirements. They're very similar. We have our extended, standard, and advanced programs, where you can see the HSC requirements. So again, the minimum being 50%, for 2 Cs and 2 Ds if you're an O-level student. Moving up into the standard, into the advanced, and then for the diploma, you can see what we. So if you complete your HSC, just 6% will get you into an international year 1, a diploma at UWA. Or if you've completed your A-level, just 5 points will get you access into the diplomas that we offer. At the bottom here, you can see our English requirements. So IELTS starting from 5.0, moving up to 6.0 if you're one of our diploma students. So I'll show you guys. So one of the things, let's see if I can find. No, okay. I don't have the slides on here, but we have 2 main diploma programs. So we have our Diploma of Science, and our Diploma of Commerce. Now, the Diploma of Commerce will give students access into any of the Bachelor of Commerce majors available at UWA. So that includes finance, economics, you can do business law, we have marketing. There's about 8 or 9 majors that you can choose, and you can choose any one majors from this. On the Diploma of Science, this actually gives students access to about 50% of the majors available under the Bachelor of Science at UWA, but it includes things like biomedical science, you can study pharmacy, you can do engineering, you can do computer science, data science. All these are available through the Diploma of Science, and they will get you straight into the second year of UWA. So, one of the other really attractive things that we have, so this is available, this is in place for October. Oh, sorry, I don't have the slide for this now. We actually have a guaranteed $10,000 scholarship for every single student that applies for one of our October intakes. And I'll just show you the intake we have just here. So we have a diploma and we have our advanced foundation. A student that applies for one of these intakes will be eligible for an automatic $10,000, and it gets discounted off this price here. So if you're a diploma student, the diploma will be $31,000. Automatically get $10,000 taken off. And then when you progress to UWA, we also have global excellence scholarships in place, which are worth up to $45,000. Okay, so again, I don't have the slide, but students can get anywhere from $10,000 to $45,000, depending on their performance. And this is spread across all 3 years of their undergrad. So whether you go in your first year or your second year, you will get scholarship for each year, depending on the grades that you achieve. Here I have a couple of samples. So we have a typical year at UWA. It's also one of the cheapest group of 8 universities to study. All of the undergraduate programs. Total indicative fee for 3 years is about $115,000. When you compare that to places like University of Melbourne, University of Sydney, you can see that it's already 40% cheaper, it's significantly cheaper. When you factor in the $10,000 scholarship in October, along with the $45,000 scholarship available for our students, you can see that the total fees is almost half as much as studying at one.
Exactly. So after getting the scholarship, the fees are coming very low. I mean, very, that it's coming half of the University of Sydney. It's almost, right?
GWA is a group of 8 universities, so it's very prestigious, very highly ranked. It ranks within the QS World Top 100 universities, which is the best 100 universities in the world. It's that mark of elite level university, okay? And Lee, I can show you, if you come in at a diploma level, that the total fee for a student who comes in and studies our diploma list, when they get the maximum scholarship, is less than $70,000 for all 3 years.
Wow, it's really very, very, very affordable fees when they get the scholarships. Only $68,540 Australian for the whole program. So it's really that very affordable.
Right, and this is the Bachelor of Science. So this could be you could be studying engineering, you could be studying computer science, data science, pharmacy, human biology, biochemistry. Anything that you're interested in that falls under the Bachelor of Science, you will be able to study this. And this is at one of the best universities in the world. Okay, so one of the world top 100 universities. It's one of the best scholarship promotions that I've ever seen. It's very, very strong, very competitive. Okay, so that is Taylor's College Perth, UWA.
Exactly.
Again, I will just show you just a quick summary. So this is our calendar for this year. Our intakes, obviously, for 2021 will stay the same, likely to stay the same, but you'll see that again, each of our programs, standard, extended, advanced, has 2 intakes, and our diploma actually has 3 intakes, February, June, and
It's now the Flinders program that you have.
Yeah, so I'll talk very quickly about Flinders. So Flinders, if you guys remember, is located in Adelaide, which is in South Australia. The campus itself, so our Flinders International or FISC, is located on Flinders University campus. The campus itself is located just outside of a really nice campus location, close enough to the city to be able to commute in if you want to work there or go into the city, far enough away that it's within its own self-contained campus. Okay, so the campus itself will obviously have all of the university classrooms, lecture theatres, libraries, all the study centres. It has all of the accommodation on campus, and it's a bit like a small town. So there'll be restaurants, cafes, pubs there. You'll have supermarkets. Everything you need is actually located on the campus. It's very convenient and has that very traditional university campus feel, like a small town, small village. Programs that we run at Flinders. So Flinders actually has widest range of pathway programs for international students. So we have our foundation programs, we have our programs, we have a pre-master's program. So if you're a student looking to a postgraduate at your master's, you can potentially look at this if you don't meet the Australian entry requirements. And then of course we have our English programs as well. On this slide, I have just listed out the entry requirements for programs. So you can see here, HSC students, for example, if you score 50% or above, you can actually go directly into a diploma program. So this is interesting because you have a few options. So if you're a HSC student for 50%, you might look at doing a diploma at Flinders. You might also look at doing a foundation at a ranked university. Just having this knowledge gives you a little bit of flexibility to decide, do I want to go for a higher ranked uni, or do I want to save a bit of time, save a bit of money, and potentially go straight into a diploma? Okay. Our foundation programs at HSC, the entry requirements are actually below 50%, but we assess all of our students on a case-by-case basis. Here you can see our UK O-level entry requirements. If you get at least 4 of these, then you are able to come and study the foundation at Flinders. Okay. Similarly, if you're looking at doing a pre-master's program, then we will actually look at your qualification. We'll do it on a case-by-case basis. But what we generally do is we look for students with an undergraduate program, and generally what tends to be students who don't meet the entry requirements into the postgrad. And usually this is students in Bangladesh, if you're from Section 2 university, and typically if you've done a 3-year undergraduate program, this is usually when you would come in for a pre-master's program, okay? But if you've been looking around and you've been getting rejected from universities to go direct into their masters, then this could be a great option for you. So just a little bit of information about how our students progress, but I'll show you guys the fees, because I think this is the most important thing. I spoke about all the facilities that we have at FISC, and FISC is a very new university, so it's very modern. The buildings are huge, it's got a fantastic location. Here you can see the intakes that we have. So it's done, Flinders is run on a trimester basis, so we have intakes in February, June and October, and then depending on what you're studying will determine exactly which intakes you go for. And then on the right-hand side, you can see the fees that we have. So one other thing that we have in place, actually, so this is for the rest of 2021, but for all Bangladesh students, there is a guaranteed $5,000 scholarship on all of our foundation programs, so the standard and the extended. And then there's a guaranteed scholarship for our diploma students of $7,500. Okay, so our diploma is actually only about $16,000, $17,000. And then for the foundation, it's similar to about $20,000. Okay, so there's big scholarships automatically, irrespective of what grades you have. So these are implemented for all students, and there's potential to achieve higher scholarships as well. So finally, I'll move across to New Zealand, and then I'll circle back around and we can have a little chat about CSU.
So look, actually, we would like to today talk only about Australia, since we have some more options than Charles Stewart. So the thing I would like to say all our students that since study group through study group we have options to study in the pathway and foundation program for the top ranked Australian university, including including Australian National University, University of Sydney, University of Western Australia, in Perth, and also Flinders University. So, and I can see that there are a lot of scholarships. Every university they have scholarships. Since ANU, they are offering in ANU college you can achieve up to 50% of scholarship 2 years. In other university, Flinders, they also have scholarship scheme. University of Sydney, they also have a scholarship scheme. Even UWA also, they also have scholarship scheme. So it's a fantastic opportunity given by the study group. You can look for it, and they have 3 intakes, multiple intakes they have in a year, like July, October, and of course February. So look, before going to Charles Sturt part, we'll have 2 videos. We'll take a short break. We'll watch the videos of Taylor's College and of course another video of Charles Sturt University. So let's have the video and then we'll come back to our discussion.
Perfect.
Coming to Taylor's was like a good prep for university, because I think if I'd come here straight for university, it would have been really difficult to assimilate to culture changes. But I think it was like a really good buffer period for me.
Students here that have come to the college, I think they're so more adaptable. They've got a broader range of skills, and I think they're going to have a happier time when they get to university, and happy is important.
Taylor's College actually offers a very friendly environment for people who actually just arrived in a new country. So there are a lot of support available, and the staff, both academic and support staff, are really friendly.
If you walk through the corridors of Taylor's, every single person has a smile on their faces, old, young. They're all smiling at you. They pretty much embody the spirit of Sydney.
What I love about working with international students is their energy, their enthusiasm. They're so excited to be somewhere else and surrounded by a very cross-cultural classroom.
I just learned so much about people from all around the world, and I think that really opened up my eyes to more cultures.
I really think that relationship between the student and the teacher is very special here. Our students are quite often isolated physically from their parents and their families, so teachers become family.
They're there to, be your friends, family. They're both for you. They're there to give you moral support. They're there to say, if something's not right, just come to us.
The teachers seem to really care about you and how you're doing and whether or not you're actually engaging with the material that they're teaching you. And they're also passionate about everything that they teach. So that's another big plus.
I think if you finish up with a University of Sydney degree, the world is your oyster and you'll have a wonderful future.
Australia is they have various cultural backgrounds, and they welcome the students from all of the world, and so it is good to study in Australia. STEP is a successful transition enhanced by peers. It is a full form of STEP leader, and in this position I was being given this position due to the grades which I got it, and this is really helpful because the university is giving chances to the students to achieve good grades, and they are also rewarding the students. The orientation is really important for the new students coming from the different background and different country, because the orientation helps us to get going into the university. We welcome the students, we get them know about it, we give them information regarding what they want during the orientation and how was the orientation, everything, and then we go on about helping them during their studies by calling them. We call them and help them how you're going on, check back with the students whether they are all right with the assignments, and if they need any help, then we get them with the study support team who helps them with that assignments as well. I'm in my penultimate year, this is second year, and I'm gradually growing forward to completing my degree in the next year. After that, I'm planning to do an internship and then to get some valuable Australian local experience and the internship program. So the internship program is offered by the Charles Sturt University, where you can get engaged with them and then they can give you a valuable experience for your future career.
Exactly. Dear students, one thing you need to keep in your mind that, of course, when you are leaving your parents, going abroad or some countries like Australia, so definitely you need to be well groomed by the university. So you need to have a very good relationship, very close relationship with your teachers, with your faculty members. So it's very important since study group. If you join through the pathway program, so definitely you will get that kind of environment to groom yourself. You will not feel alone because they are very, that they make their students like a family member, and you will get a family environment over there, and you will not feel nervous. You will feel confidence to progress. And once you finish the pathway program study group, definitely it will help you to grow very fast in your university life. So it's very important to keep in your mind that if you can start your journey with the pathway program, it will help you to groom up perfectly. So look, so that's how the Taylor's College they say that it's very important to have a good relationship between that teacher and the students or in the classroom and in the study environment, which is very important. So now we'll talk about the Charles Sturt University program, since you offer the direct bachelor and master's program of this university. So would you please tell something about this university, about the programs, entry requirements, fees structure, and scholarship as well?
Of course, yeah, of course. And, excellent videos, I think, great choice. Probably the biggest compliment we get from our students is that they all really say how much they enjoy the process and how much they learn and how much support's available. And you see that in this, we have the small classes and we have some of the best teachers in the world to help our students achieve that. But there's a lot of passion that goes into it from our campus staff. And we really do everything we can for our students. We really want them to succeed. But I'll talk a little bit about CSU and a great video for CSU as well. They spoke about some things in there which I'll touch base on. But one of the things we really focus on at the study centres, so these are our city-based locations. There are 3 options for students. If you're looking to study undergrad or postgrad, you can study in Brisbane, Melbourne, or Sydney. We only focus on some very specific programs in these locations, so accounting, business, and IT. And I'll touch base on that a little bit in a second. But there's a lot of value add that we run for our students. So one of the biggest focuses for us and for the students that we have that come and study at the study centres is we're really looking at building their future career, building their career. So we do a lot of work, things like internships that we run that are exclusive to the study centres, our pass and step leaders, which I'll talk a little bit about later on. But we run lots and lots of things for our students to really help them embrace Australian culture, get the most out of their education, but really build them up so that they can really make the most out of their career and really make them job ready for when they do finish their studies. Okay, so coming and studying with us is only a small part of their journey in Australia, especially for our CSU students. Most of our students will come and study with us for 2 or 3 years. A lot of our students will go on and apply for a post-study work visa, and it's during that post-study work visa period where they might get another 2 or 3 years where they're really putting into practice all of the skills that they've learned at Charles Sturt to set them up for the rest of their career. Some of the big things to remember at Charles Sturt, this is me when I'm talking about us being career focused. There are 2 main areas that are very attractive for our students, but that is in terms of our employment rate. So Charles Sturt University has one of the highest graduate employment rates in Australia, so 87.5%. And our graduates also have one of the highest average starting salaries. Okay, so one of the 2 biggest benefits of coming and studying with us, you're more likely to find a job when you finish than studying at any other university, and you're likely to have a much higher starting salary than if you joined any other university. Okay, so find a job quicker and easier and have a bigger salary when you finish. These are 2 very important things for a lot of our students. If you're considering Charles Sturt University, I would imagine it's a big thing for you as well. And a big part of this is the work that we do with our students and the work that we have with our corporate partners for things like our internship placements and things like this. Okay, here you can see some of the areas where we excel. So number 1 in Australia for postgraduate IT, number 1 in Australia for business and management. Sorry, number 2. And then number 3 in Australia for computer science. Okay, so I'll show you guys the programs that we run at our study centre. So I mentioned before, we just focus on accounting, business, and IT. Here you can actually see specifically which programs we run. So you can see we have 3 levels of study. We have our bachelor, our graduate diploma, and our master's level programs. And for you guys there that are watching and paying attention, you might notice that we've listed Master of Professional Accounting twice. And the reason for that is because we run a 12 and 16 subject master. Now the difference between these 2 subjects, so from an outcome basis, so whether you study the 12 or the 16, when you're looking for a job or if you're applying for post-study work visa, there's no difference. Okay, so for students, there's no difference. The biggest difference is in terms of the entry requirements. Okay, so the 12 subject is our standard entry program. So if you have completed a 4-year undergraduate degree in Bangladesh, then typically you will be eligible for this 12-subject program. If you haven't, or maybe you've done a 3-year degree, or maybe for some other reasons, and you're not eligible for the 12 subject, then often you may be eligible for the 16 subject masters. Okay. The one thing I say to all of our students, if you're applying for a master's program, always apply for the 12 subjects first. If you're not eligible, then our admissions can advise you whether you are eligible for our 16 subjects. Okay. But the only difference, other than the number of subjects that you study, is just very simply the entry requirements. Okay. So what your undergrad degree is, how long you study for, and which institution that you studied at. So on the right-hand side, you can see we have 3 intakes. Our 3 intakes here, so February, July, November. And these are available all year round for all of our programs for undergrad and postgrad. So it doesn't matter what level you're studying and what subject you're interested in, you can always join any 3 of these intakes that we offer. Finally, on the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see all of the areas where we're ranked. We're rated 5 stars out of 5. So teaching quality, full-time employment, graduate salary, obviously, our student support, and most importantly, overall experience. And then finally, and most importantly, all of our courses, not just our accounting courses, are all fully accredited in Australia, which means they, of course, are recognised in Australia, but also all over the world. So if you come and study with Charles Sturt University, you'll have a world-recognised qualification, which will give you access to work anywhere in the world. So the next set of programs that we offer, so our IT programs. So again, we have 3 levels of study. You'll see our Bachelor of IT, our Graduate Diploma, and then again, our 2 Masters of IT programs, 12 and 16 subjects. Again, you see all the areas where we're rated 5 stars. And again, you'll see we have our 3 intakes. Finally, we have our business programs. So we have 3 bachelor programs. We have a Bachelor of Business Management, Marketing, and then a Bachelor of Business Studies, a general program. We have our Graduate Diploma, and then we have our 2 Master's programs. Okay, so we have a Master of Business Administration and a Master of Commerce. Okay, so one thing you'll notice, this 12-subject MBA it runs across 1.5 years. So if you're interested in studying an MBA, but you're perhaps looking at post-study work visa afterwards, then it's important to know that this degree is not eligible for post-study work visa. Okay. Another consideration for this MBA is that you need to have at least 3 years of relevant management work experience. Okay. So the 16-subject MBA runs for 2 years, and there's no work experience required. So finally, I was speaking about how we are careers focused, and these are just some of the areas where we support our students. These are all free initiatives that are run for our students to help improve their job prospects and help get them ready for their career when they finish studying with Charles Sturt University. So perhaps our most famous point and one of the most popular points is that we run an internship program, a 3-month or 12-week internship program. And the only criteria for achieving this is that you need to finish the program, so finish your study, whether it's undergrad or postgrad, and you need to apply for the program in the final semester. Okay, if you do, then there's a job readiness club that we put you through. There's a careers workshop that we run you through. But at the end of this preparation, when you finish your studies, there will be an internship available for you. Okay, and we work with lots of big MNCs. In the past, we worked with people like PwC, Google, IKEA. We work with a lot of the big supermarket chains in Australia to do things like their IT and management programs. And one of the really great things about our internship programs is that for our students, it has a very high retention rate. Okay, so what that means is that many of the students that complete our internship program, when they finish their internship, will actually get a full-time job offer where they've just completed their internship. So it's a fantastic way to put into practice everything our students have been learning for their 2 years, 3 years with us. And then in many cases, they complete this internship and they will have a full-time professional job waiting for them at the end. Okay. So the Careers Workshop and Job Readiness Club that we do, so this is actually key as part of the internship application process. But we will do things like help you build an Australian style resume. We'll help you build your LinkedIn network. We'll put you in touch with recruiters for MNCs. We can actually help you practice panel interviews. So often when you interview for roles in Australia, It will be with a panel, so usually a hiring manager, someone from HR, typically another senior manager. And we can actually run mock interviews for you to help you get used to it. We'll give you tips, we can coach your interviews, and we do a whole range of things to prepare you for working after CSU. Okay. In addition to this, you heard the guys in the video speak about our leadership programs. So these are a whole range of programs. They're completely voluntary, but we encourage many of our students to get involved with these because they will help with your communication skills, your English language skills. They help you with your leadership abilities. You'll get experience running projects, managing teams, all while studying. And it's a fantastic way, like I say, build your skills, build your confidence, and build your resume so that when you do go and look for a job, you can say, whilst I was studying, I was doing all these extra things. I've managed these projects. I've worked with these members of the university community. And it's a fantastic way for employers to know that you've got the skills that they need.
Exactly. So look, we'll take a question on of our student. So he's asking that, do you have CSC, that is computer science and engineering? So Ahmed Maruf, actually, first of all, you need to know that which program you're looking for, either bachelor or master's. So definitely we have this program, IT, information technology, or master in computer science, or that bachelor in computer science we have, but we need to know about your academic background, and also we need to know which program you're looking for. So definitely you can talk to prominent team, so they will help you regarding this matter. Thank you so much for your inquiry. Yes. Yes. Look.
Yeah, just to add to that, so if you're looking for a direct undergraduate program, we offer computer science under the Bachelor of IT, so it's one of the majors that we offer. That's both undergrad and postgrad, so you have that option. If you're looking at doing a foundation first, then we offer computer science at all of our university partners, so UWA, University of Sydney, ANU, Flinders, Waikato, Auckland. And if you're an undergrad student, then you also have some diploma options as well. Okay, so you can look at Flinders, and we also have computer science and engineering available through UWA. So UWA would be a very attractive option as a diploma because you potentially get that $10,000 scholarship, and then when you progress onto UWA, there's $45,000 up for grabs at the undergraduate level as well. So we definitely do. There are options for you at all levels of study as well.
Exactly. So I think you have explained most of the parts of Charles Sturt University. So I think there Charles Sturt University, there you have some scholarship scheme, which is $8,000, I think, so far I know. So would you please tell something about the scholarship scheme of Charles Sturt?
Let me see if I can pop these up. So we just confirmed it. So it'll be almost the exact same scholarships we had for our last intake, actually. And this will apply for all students. I'll just pop them up. But the criteria is the same, and the amounts I'm told will be the same. We're just waiting for the final artwork to come up. But every single undergraduate student, let's see if we have prices actually. We have the prices. Amazing.
No, it's okay. I think you can tell. I think it's not required to show the things.
Okay. Oh yeah. Sorry. I'll show you. I popped up anyway. So $8,000 for every single undergraduate student we have. And then up to $8,000 for all of our postgraduate students, what you score in the most recent qualification. Okay, so there's some fantastic scholarships there for students as well. The great thing about these scholarships is there's no limit, so we don't cap the number of students that can achieve this. It's just very simply, if you meet the requirements, then you can get this scholarship, and it will be applied as a discount the fees that you pay.
Exactly. So look, I think we need to talk about something about the the present situation during COVID-19 and how the classes are going on now, and how would be the enrollment process, and how they can join online classes, and if they join online classes, then what will happen to their the future work permit. So would you please tell something about this matter, since students are quite confused, quite that in panic. They are in panic and they are feeling a bit confused about this matter.
Yeah, it's a great question, really important. So the first thing I will say is that one of the biggest challenges that we have is that obviously we don't know when borders will open. So that's one of the biggest concerns. At the moment, we think potentially towards the end of the year, start of next year. So we're hoping, if not for November, then certainly for the semester one intakes, we think that the borders will be open. regardless of whether they are open or not, we're actually running all of our programs as online programs, okay? So the biggest thing I want to emphasize is that our online programs are a little bit different from probably what you think of when you think of online programs. But the key thing is that the online programs that we run are almost exactly the same as our campus location programs, okay? And what I mean by this, your basic day-to-day structure, the number of students in the class, the teachers that we have teaching, the curriculum, how you're assessed, the progression, these all stay exactly the same, okay? So this is the case with our foundation, with our diplomas, and it's the case with CSU, whether you're looking at undergrad or postgrad. We've done a really good job actually, and the feedback from the students has been really good to emulate like a live classroom experience. Okay, so we won't be running sessions where you'll watch like a pre-recorded lesson or a video or anything like this. When you're studying with us, you'll be in a classroom, like a Zoom classroom, just like I am now, and the teacher will be leading you through the classroom. Okay, so whether you have an English class or a maths class, or everyone's going to say 1 hour or 2 hours, the teacher will actually be there guiding you through every minute, every second of that class, just as they would be if you were on one of our campuses studying face-to-face. Okay. In addition to this, because obviously we understand that a lot of the facilities that we have, things like libraries and things like this, you won't be able to access them. We've actually enhanced our online platform. So everything you would possibly need in terms of resources, textbooks, is all available through our Student Central platform, which is called Study Smart. So our students, when they're studying on campus, will typically use this every day anyway. So if they want to check their timetables, for example, or if they're going to submit assignments, they still do this, but we've added loads of extra features. So there's a whole new online library. You'll have access to all of the reading resources that we would have in our libraries on campus. In addition to this, we have a whole range of enhanced features as well. So things like the timetable that you typically have will now have links, live links to the classroom. So you log onto your timetable every day. You'll see what you have, and then in that timetable, you'll actually have a link directly to that live class. Click the link, you join the class, and you'll go there and you'll actually study the same curriculum, the same teachers, and the same classrooms. Okay, so when our students actually come over and do study with us on campus, it will just be a continuation. Okay, so you won't repeat any work. The classrooms that you had before will be the same classrooms, so same teacher, same classmates, and you will just carry on seamlessly. Okay, the progression to the universities is exactly the same. It's all fully recognized. And we've added a few things in terms of the payment as well. So we understand, obviously, maybe students are a little bit concerned. So all of our programs have a 21-day change of mind program. So you can try the program for the first 21 days until our census date. You can actually get a full refund. So you can start the program, try it out. If you don't like it for any reason whatsoever, or if it doesn't work, maybe the internet isn't great where you live, you can get a full refund. You can defer to the next intake, whatever you want. And we're so confident the program is very good. And to date, I believe over 96% of our students that have tried online have stuck with the online program because they were so happy with how it worked. Okay. In addition to this, we also have a whole range of refunds designed to protect students if they get their visa rejected, for example. Okay, so if you start an online program, it's a little bit different now because students will be able to apply for their visa until the borders open. But if you confirm, if you start online and for whatever reason you haven't received your visa, if you later get a visa rejection and it's not your fault, then again you'll get a full refund. Okay, so we want to say to all of our students that are worried, there's no need to be worried. You can try it. If you don't like it, if your visa gets rejected, then you'll get a full refund. There's no risk for the student. We want to take all the risk away from the student and say, listen, if you want to use this time while COVID is disrupting everything to get education going, we want you to try our platform. Give it a go. If it doesn't work for you, absolutely fine. You can go back to square one, wait for the next intake. But if you do enjoy it, if it does work for you, you can actually use this time productively whilst the whole world is shut down. Actually get ahead of your education and get a head start on whether it's your undergrad, postgrad, whatever. Okay.
Exactly. And actually, look, we are just end of the live session. It's already covered more than 1 hour. And finally, I would like to say to our students that what Luke said, that since we cannot yet, the border is not open now, so you can start your classes online, and it won't affect to your PSW in future, and also you can still, the progression to the university will remain same. And of course, after starting the online classes, if you get rejected, which is not your fault, if you don't get visa from the immigration, then definitely you can get the refund from the Australian institutions, as Luke said. So it's a great opportunity. You can still continue your study online, and everything will be same. You won't feel any difference if you do online classes as well. And finally, I would like to say something about the summary, just bit summary of the total discussion, that study group, they offer actually pathway programs, different top ranked Australian universities, including Australian National University, University of Sydney, the University of Western Australia, and of course Flinders University. So all these are very, especially ANU and University of Sydney are top ranked universities, and apart from that, UWA and Flinders also, they are also good ranked universities. So you can start the pathway, diploma or year 1 with them, and you can finish with your dream universities in Australia. And also they also offer a very good university, which is Charles Sturt University. Their undergrad and master's program in different fields like business, IT. And definitely you are most welcome. The next intake is in October, which is, we know it's very close, but after October we also have February intake 21, so you can prepare now for that. And if you need any help, any assistance, just feel free to communicate with Prominent Consultant. Our contact number is there in our Facebook page, and this video also will be posted in our Facebook page, and also it will be published in our YouTube channels whenever you require, since it is a completely informative session. So whenever required to know the details, you can go through this video at any time. So Luke, we are end of the live session, and do you have any final words that you need to say to our students?
Just thank you for everyone who did tune in today. I hope I've shared some information with you that's been useful. My advice to students is honestly to think about, if you're concerned about studying online, is really just to give it a try. Do consider it. It's definitely a viable option. We've had thousands of students that have studied online with us that have been very happy with the experience. We've had our online students progress onto the university now, and many of our students are actually on campus at some of our unis now. But ultimately, I think if you have any questions, just get in touch with my colleagues at Prominent. These guys are experts. They've helped probably tens of thousands of students study overseas. So if you have a question, even if you think it's silly, reach out to those guys, and they'll be able to give you their expertise. They'll be able to give you the guidance and just give you the best options, to follow your dreams and come study in Australia.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Luke, for joining this live session and for your wonderful presentation. And dear students, finally, you need to be safe. You need to stay in home, and you need to keep yourself safe and try to focus on your study, since that the time is not waiting for you. So you need to think about your future plan. And Luke, so before leaving the live session, we'll have a final video of Australia, of Charles Sturt University, and after watching this video, we'll just leave the live session. Okay, so thank you, dear viewers. Goodbye, and see you some other time with some other live sessions. Thank you so much. Stay safe, stay in home, and take care. So we'll have the video, and we'll close the live session after that.
As an international student, you always have to, first of all, believe in yourself. And from that point, you have to go there and you have to show the world how valuable you are. Here in Australia, we are very lucky because wherever you go, Australians or people from other nationalities will always give you a hand and will always help you. One of the main reasons why I chose Charles Stewart University is because they offer internship programs. Internships are a very important tool. When you go into a company as a student, that's a big opportunity to grow and to be a successful professional in your career. International students here in Australia, we are a big community and we are all united, helping each other. When I walk the streets in Sydney, I see my mom next to me, I see my family next to me, and I see a better future, but not only for myself, I see a better future for everyone. I see a beautiful nation, I see a beautiful city, I see a country full of opportunities, and that's why I encourage and I would like to invite everyone to come to Australia because it is a free place to live, to grow, and to enjoy your life.